In this video today, I want to walk you through 10 really great keyboard shortcuts for beginners in Premiere Pro. This is going to help you make your editing a lot quicker and be able to move forward faster. So here's my Premiere Pro. I currently just have a stock footage in here to show you these different keyboard shortcuts. So the very first keyboard shortcut I want to teach you about is the play versus pause shortcut. You can constantly toggle on and off the play versus pause by just clicking the spacebar. So you can see here, all I need to do is click the spacebar and it starts playing my video. And if I click it again, it will pause my video. The second great shortcut is to be able to cut your footage. And so whenever I'm cutting footage, I will often use the razor tool. And so this razor tool, if you look in Premiere Pro, you can come over to this left-hand side and you can click on this razor tool. You're working on something and you don't want to constantly move your mouse over to click on the razor tool. You can quickly just click it on by pressing the C button on your keyboard. So if I press C, it'll automatically pull the razor tool on and I'll be able to cut along my video. To be able to cut multiple tracks at the same time, you can use the Shift key. So here you can see this is where I made the previous cut, and I can always come up in this video and click here to cut again. However, if I want to cut both of these at the same time without having to make two different clicks, I can easily just hold down the Shift key. This is gonna bring up this line that'll show it's gonna cut everything. And then if I click it, it's gonna make a cut in both of those at the same time. The fourth keyboard shortcut is to be able to revert back to the selection tool. To be able to do this, you can use the V key. So as you can see here, we still have this razor tool on that we got by using the C key. If I just use the V key, it's going to switch back into the selection tool. So this allows you to very quickly be able to select things without having to come up here and click this selection tool. So up till now, you've learned how to use the C key to cut and then the V key to go back to selection tools. That makes it really easy to be able to just use keyboard shortcuts to move on. The fifth keyboard shortcut is to be able to select all the clips forward or backwards. And so to be able to do this, you can click A if you want to select all the clips forward, or Shift A if you want to select all the clips backward. So in Premiere Pro, I'm here on the selection tool. So if I click A, you're going to get these two arrows that show up. So this will select all the clips forward of wherever you click. So if I click here, you can see that all of my two clips forward of that are selected. I can easily do V again to go out of it. And then if I click Shift A, it's going to reverse those arrows. So now I can select all of the clips that are behind the one that I'm clicking on. If you just want to do this for one track, you can hold down the Shift key while you click. So if you hold down the Shift key, you're going to see that one of the arrows goes away. So now if I click, it's only going to select those that are within that track and not all of the clips previous to this. This can be really helpful if you're trying to apply settings to only one track. You can just select all of the clips forward or back of it and then apply that setting. Next, I want to talk to you about how to do a ripple delete. So you can do a ripple delete by pressing Shift Delete. Say that you're editing your video and you want this middle section gone. If you just press the delete key, it just disappears and these don't snap back over. You're gonna have to click and drag them over. So if we Control Z and you click these again, if you press Shift Delete, it's now going to snap it back over. It's gonna ripple it out. And that's going to allow you to have those pushed back up together instead of having to click the empty space and delete it again. Along with that, there is also the ripple cut. So this is going to cut where the play bar is and then ripple it either backwards or forward. So you're gonna get rid of the clip either to the left or to the right. So in this case, you need to have the play bar where you want it to be able to cut. So you can see that my play bar is right here. So if I want to delete out this clip, I can press the Q key, and that's going to delete out that section of video. So now if I press the Q key, you can see this 21 seconds is here. If I press Q, now I've cut out that clip here. So you can see it jumps and then it jumps forward along that time scale. Now, on the other hand, let's say I want this clip out and this already has a cut there. So what I'm gonna instead do is I'm gonna press the W key. So if I press W, you can see that blue now moved closer to the purple. Instead of it taking away some of the blue clip, it took away the purple clip that was left over. Another great keyboard shortcut is to be able to easily toggle off and on the snapping mechanism. And you can do this by pressing the S key. So whenever you're in Premiere Pro, you can see that if I move this around, it's snapping it to the playhead, it'll snap it to the beginning and the end of this. And sometimes that can be really hard to move because if you're trying to get it not quite up against the playhead, but right next to it, it's gonna keep jumping and snapping it there. So if I don't want that to occur, I can just press the S. And when you press the S, this magnet is gonna stop being highlighted blue. And now you can move it however you would like. See, it's no longer snapping towards that playhead. So you can put it there. And then if I re-enable S, I can easily snap it back to the playhead. Whenever you're wanting to quickly put on text onto a footage, you can always use the text tool. A great thing about the text tool is there's an easy keyboard shortcut by just using the T button. So if we're in here and we want to quickly write something, we can easily press T and then we can write on our image. And then we can click outside of it and easily, this is still going to have the text tool selected. So we can easily press V again to get the selection tool and then be able to navigate this. So instead of always having to come over here and click the text tool, you can easily just use the T to toggle that text tool on and off. The final shortcut is to be able to mark a clip in or out. So if you're going along your timeline and you only want to render a certain portion or you only want to do something to a certain portion, you can press the I to mark in and the O key to mark out. So in this case, you can see here that if I press the I key where the playhead is, it's going to highlight everything to the right of that I key. So this is what's now marked in. If I went to render and did select in and out, it's only gonna start rendering from that point. And then I can come over here and mark out and do this. This is really a great tool whenever you are trying to bring in B-roll or audio files. So if I double click on this, it's going to appear in this source tab. And then what's really great about this is if I only want a certain section, so say I only want flying over the rocks, but I don't want all of this leading up to it, I can have my playhead right here and I can press I to mark that in and I can go over the rocks and press O to mark it out. And then what I'm able to do is click this drag video only. And if I click this, it's only going to bring in that clip. So now you can see that when I pull over this, it's just flying over the rocks. And then we go back into the original video clip. I use this all the time whenever I'm putting in my underlying audio music because I usually don't want the intro or the outro, and instead of having to drop it in and shorten both ends, you can just mark an in and an out and then keep dropping it in over and over again. So that's my 10 great keyboard shortcuts for beginners. If you are a beginner and you're starting an online business, get my tech and resources guide that's going to help you with all the different technology that I use to run my businesses. And that's a free download that you can easily get in the link below. If you want to try out using Premiere Pro, you can also check out the Premiere Pro website using my link below as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.